this is how a lot of songs that are great are written. And it's so encouraging because, I'm in a room today and like I'm with top AA writers and like you hit a stumbling block and you're like, is this how it's supposed to feel?
Yeah.
With like some of the best writers in the world, like we still don't know what we're doing. And it's like, yeah. That's what writing songs is.
Encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is what writing is.
Yeah.
No one like, if you already knew what you're going to write, you wouldn't write. It's already been done already.
Right.
You show up like
It's
having
new.
no idea.
Yeah.
Every time I go into a session, I'm like, I don't know how to write songs. But I'm going to try again. I'm going to like throw it against the wall and maybe something will happen.
That's that fear coming back around every time you come into a session. Did you have that early on with like, can you remember the first session where you were paired or you got linked up with a really top level writer? Do you remember what that was and how you felt going into that session?
It might have been that Kara one where it was like, oh my God, I know a lot of songs that you've written.
Yeah.
And for me, what that made me do is go, the only shot I have at keeping up with you is if I go as emotional as I can. Like something that's like a really big, I love when songs are super close to someone, like go after what your deepest thing is, and then you get to put it into one word. And then that one word means so much to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The person that you dated for 8 years and then broke up with you. Like, what's the one word that sums that up? That's a great song.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like something that's so close to you that then you can put into, so it makes people feel. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious now that you have had so many hits, released so many records, toured all over the world, and you are constantly kind of getting hit from every angle now with social media, and you're getting hit on Instagram and Twitter, but even at the shows, and kind of how you can balance all of this out where constant admiration thrown at you, but then also feeling potentially that, one, how are you staying humble with it all? And I loved kind of on the new record you have, you talk about this like within Spotlight, and just kind of like, how do you keep that humility, but also how do you, are there moments that it kind of, you need still to pump yourself up a little bit more, even so all of this is being shot at you in a positive way. There's so much positive energy coming in your direction
as well.
And there's plenty of negative. So speak to both ends of that, the positive and the negative, and then how you balance that out, how you deflect the negative, how you embrace the positive in an authentic way.
Somehow early on I was able to make a deal with myself that I just love to do this, and that's where I'm gonna like stay. I think I'm just good enough to do this. And so I don't listen, I try hard, but I don't listen when someone tells me that I'm not good enough to do this, which in the beginning is what you get a lot of.
Yes.
And then you also don't listen when someone's like, oh my God,
right.
you're like the best that anyone's ever done this. It's like, take it easy.
Yeah.
I'm like right in here.
Right.
This is my zone
that
I like stay in.
Yeah.
And I think, when it comes to the negative stuff, when you're in a place where you can hear it, it's like all about like, can you hear it? You don't ever want something to go all the way in that stops you from doing.
Right.
I'm like, just especially with writing, you have to just keep doing it. So if criticism is coming and it's going to stop you from doing it, you can feel like, oh my God, then like, sure, put up your walls, like block it, don't let it in. But when you're ready, and you're in a zone, be like, okay, so what's the criticism about this? How do I learn? How do I shift this? How do I change?
Where do you, because if there's so much coming at you, positive, negative, criticism, positivity, but if you put up that wall, then potentially you're not able to receive anything.
Yeah, I think it's really about knowing yourself and timing. So like me and my wife, she's an amazing songwriter as well, and she'll come home, like last night she came home and I was done with, I'd written that day too, and I was like kind of tired. She goes, can I play you this song? Yeah. And I'm like, not a good time. Like, I'm not going to be good at like telling you what you need. Or I'll say to her like, can you listen to this song? And she'll be very clear about like, what do you want from me? You want like wife that loves everything you do? Do you want like asshole that's going to tell you the truth? Right. And so it doesn't mean like a wall always. It just means like, oh, right now is not the time to go on Twitter. I'm like
it's-
about to have breakfast with a friend.
Right.
Do I just go check in and see how much everybody loves me or hates me?
So
That seems kind of stupid.